Okay, this is a Batman versus Superman Dawn of Justice quick rundown. Ain't gonna waste no time. Jesse Eisenberg. Better than I expected him to be as Luthor, mostly because I heard he was fucking terrible as a character. Whilst I do prefer the older, sager Lex characters, or the younger one portrayed in Smallville, with his father Lionel still around, I'm completely fine with him, with some small reservations. Amy Adams, meh. If you didn't like her as Lois in Man of Steel, this will not change your mind at all. Bland. She's done better work than this. Henry Cavill still looks the part of Superman, still super dick basically. It's not the man's fault. He's a fine actor, but you know the part isn't written well. Batfleck, Jesus fucking Christ! If you told me a couple of years ago he'd be the best part of this film, I would have gutted him like a fish and eaten your insides like a jackal. But yes, he is pretty awesome. Jeremy Irons, a class act as you'd expect from an older British actor. Not much to Alfred's character, but you get a nice sense of this is through his sarcasm and wild weariness, having to put up with his master Bruce being a madman in a cape for fucking years, and that's all you really need. You can fill in the gaps yourself. I mean, everyone knows fucking Batman by this point, I fucking hope. Gal Gadot, far more interesting as Diana than as Wonder Woman. You get the sense of a devious, cunning, and intelligent woman, and then Wonder Woman just shows up from nowhere, and you're like, because there's no setup to a super power alter ego apart from a couple of photographs, and that's kind of lame as shit. And you got additional members of Justice League thrown in there. I didn't like the Flash at all. I'm probably too used to the TV's portrayal, but I do not like the look of this guy at all. And the way he crops up in the film, anybody who's not aware of the Justice League in the audience is going to be, what the fuck just happened there? That didn't make any goddamn sense whatsoever. Because frankly, it didn't. You've got Aquaman, portrayed by Jason Momoa, who was on Game of Thrones and also Stargate Atlantis, which seems very appropriate. Seems reasonable enough as Aquaman for me. Nothing to say otherwise. You don't have any clue what the fuck's going on there. Cyborg, just kind of there, where there's some random clips of in some folder on MetaHumans, which you'll be familiar with if you watch any of the DC TV series. It's just out of place, really. You can see what's going on. DC's trying to rush to get to Justice League film, and so this shit is obviously just shoved in there. You haven't got all the setup that Marvel have done for years because they're just racing to catch up because they're well behind at this point. So if you know anything about Justice League, you know basically what the lineup's going to be. Presumably there's no Green Lantern because of the massive failure of the Green Lantern film with Ryan Reynolds. Not the man's fault. People loved him as Deadpool, not the Wolverine X-Men X-Men Origins Deadpool, of course, but the proper Deadpool. He was just lovely, and if you didn't like him, you should kill yourself. That all being said, cut all that shit out. Made no difference whatsoever to the film. Does Superman bleed? No, he gets a bit of a scratch. Is this Batman versus Superman? No, it's Dawn of Justice with a bit of Batman and Superman in there. Will the several fake outs in the film piss you off because you see them coming a mile away and you now know exactly how the trailers lie to you? Yes. Yes, they fucking will. Overall conclusion, the bits that needed more time spent on them didn't have any time spent on them. The action is just what you'd expect, good, but no real stakes to care about, so the actual Batman versus Superman part is basically over in a second, and the setup for the Justice League feels a bit like it was tacked on at the last minute. It's a bit of a mess. I didn't hate it, but I'm thinking the unthinkable now in that just having a Batfleck series of films would be awesome. Just shoot me in the head. Christopher Nolan's credited in there. I don't know if he had anything to do with Batman. Maybe there's some information out there. I don't know. I don't care. You don't need to see this one unless you're a DC fanboy, but you probably already have if you are, and you're probably already disappointed if you are. Hashtag who will win? Well, anybody who didn't know that neither of them could possibly have killed the other one before going to see the film was a fucking retard, because obviously neither of them could win because they had to be coming together in the Justice League, which is done in a pretty clumsy way. So there you go. It's all fucking lies. Batman vs Superman is a fucking lie. It's Dawn of Justice, but that wouldn't get bums in seats. So there you are. Fuck off.